Hello everybody, welcome. Right, who do we have in here today? Let's turn my music down a little bit in the background. Hopefully everyone can hear me, can see me okay. Say hello in the chat if you are here. Alright, Peace Puffs, welcome. Hemen, welcome. Prime Birdie, welcome. Destiny, welcome. Jambi, Nudge. Alright. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. And yeah, we will begin in a moment. Dow's Wart. There's a few new people in here. Permy Birdie. Do you guys have any crypto discords again? Not paid ones. Pico. We do. But yeah, we can talk about that kind of thing a little bit later. Who else is new? Dows. I haven't seen Dows in here before. Or Uwuwart. And Spaceman's here. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Cool. My music's still too loud. It's distracting me. Hopefully a good... Yep. All right. So, yeah, today we're going to go over the Bitcoin price action. We're going to take a look at some altcoins because Bitcoin dominance is still continuing to fall, which is very nice. That's pretty good. The DXY, of course, is continuing to fall, which is pretty decent. NASDAQ is up to, well, was up to new all-time highs. It's having a little bit of a pullback now as we go into CPI and as we go into New York Open. ES, same situation, so swept those all-time highs and a little bit of a pullback here. And we'll take a look at some altcoins as well. So a lot of stuff to cover. We can look at the, we can look at the higher time frames. We can look at the low time frames. We can do whatever we want to do. All right. Yep, cool. Okay, so yeah, Bitcoin starting off here. I was expecting a bit of a pullback around 120k. We overshot it slightly. That's natural because when you're having like a short squeeze like this, you want to make sure that everybody's out of the market. So for myself on like long positions and things, I was mainly taking profit around that like 118 to 120k. I've also been in a head short. So just after we got that breakout, because I've got a lot of long exposure, I was in a head short position, and this has actually been a really nice opportunity just to get out of that with like minimal loss. I'm still holding a little bit of it, collecting funding on it and everything, but it's one of those that's just like somewhat stabilizing the portfolio. If I get profit from a short position, then that's great. I can start to allocate those funds into some altcoins and maybe into additional longs elsewhere. But overall, yeah, I'm still positive about the market. I wouldn't mind seeing a bit more of a pullback here. I think we're in a nice zone to be holding as supports, but I really wouldn't mind a little bit deeper. So we'll go on to the lower time frames and take a look at that and see what kind of levels we can be looking at. Essentially for me, I was fully expecting price to come back below 120k again. Yeah, just a nice opportunity just to reduce some of the open interest, take out a few of those like late longs and start to, grab some liquidations, get a few more bids in there and see how things go from there. So Bitcoin, from like the high time perspective, these were the two levels that I had. So it was that 118 to 120k zone, just based off of fib pools from the past. These kind of things are quite nice. And also if we're looking at the BLX and we're looking at like real high time frames, this clearly is like an area of historical distribution. So this is just kind of trend lines. All right, if we're connecting from like the 2017 cycle high to the first high we put in April 2021, and then same again from here coming up to, well, basically the first high that we put back in there. So this first distribution that we had in 2021 again failed to break through that. And a similar situation, we did get that big rejection when we came into this area around 110k earlier on in the year, like end of last year, beginning of this year. And we're really just pushing up into those upper zones. So are we looking at something that's essentially a little bit like this? which could be kind of bearish. At least like that is one possibility, where we've had this big run up, we've had the correction, we're coming up here, and we could be putting in like a bigger kind of two-wave thing like we did in the last cycle. I'm not really feeling that that's like the highest probability thing right now, but it is something that I'm certainly aware of, which is why I have been in a head short, and why I think it's important not to be like super high leverage or like super overexposed right now. But having said that, like, I do believe that the market is looking good, very good generally. I think that like I've repeated so many times, the potential, the upside reward greatly outweighs the downside risk. Now, we've already had a big push through, like we were talking about this when price was like here and when price was here. We've now had that move up, but I still think there's a lot more to come from this market. I still think things are looking pretty good. The other thing that would maybe make me feel that there is a slight pullback on the whole crypto like world on the cards is that total market cap, like SFP, of all-time highs. So we did have that break above all-time highs, we closed back below it, and we are then seeing a pullback. So yeah, pullbacks to be expected here, but still overall very bullish. I think bears at this stage have been slaughtered. Anyone who was bearish last week, anyone who was like net short last week, they're kind of out the market now. I think getting a 7%, what was it, like 7-8% move above previous all-time highs, that's that's enough to make, well, enough to knock anyone out. 12% move above those previous all-time highs, that's enough to knock any bears out of the market basically. And we just look at this as new data and new range that's forming here. So that's kind of the daily. We do have a daily gap here, which would be of interest to me, so we can start to build some confluence as we break through that all-time high. There is big imbalance down here. All right, so if we're looking at an area of supports, then anything below 115k would be nice. Going down onto the 4-hour, that is also 4-hour imbalance that's right here. Okay, we can see basically just since we broke through all-time high, there's massive impulse up. You don't want to see acceptance into this. If we do drop into here, you want to see that immediate reversal coming back up towards the highs again, and maybe looking at a short and some kind of compression like this kind of thing, where you come back into golden pocket, you bounce around a little bit. This would actually line up really nicely. Right, if we are to get a move down here and we just look at the fibs, how that would all line up, and then are we looking at this being continuation higher, or are we looking at a move back down to, below that 110k zone, in which you'd have to start getting a little bit bearish. So yeah, really don't want to see acceptance below 115, but if we do dip down to 115 today or tomorrow, because we've got a lot of news, a lot of data coming out, I would welcome that. I'd be very happy with that, to be honest. The other thing as well is that altcoins haven't really been affected by this move down at all. I was really surprised. So basically at the moment, my mornings are always really busy, and I don't really get the chance to look at the charts until I'm in Asia, but I don't really get the chance to look at the charts until the time I would usually wake up if I'm in the UK. So this is like 4 p.m. my time, 8 a.m. UK, 8 p.m. no, 4 o'clock in the morning US time. All right, so yeah, I was kind of expecting to look at my overall portfolio and be like, oh, okay, I'm down like whatever percent, like 30%, because I'm leveraged on all of it. If we've had like a 10% dip or whatever here, but no, everything's looking good. Altcoins are still climbing. Bitcoin dominance is down, so I'm pretty happy about what I'm seeing right now. What else can we say? We can, oh my god, 40 seconds till data. Yeah, I did start at 8:15. So let's just go over onto this and let's just watch CPI. All right, we'll watch CPI. This is clean. This is a really clean. Oh, that's not so clean because let's do that. All right, data's coming in. Up into a bit. Whoa, shit. Okay. There's another new all-time high on the NQ, isn't it? It is another new all-time high. Very nice. So US CPI was 2.7 year over year, estimated at 2.6. Core CPI 2.9 year over year, estimated at 3. So not much of a difference. One of them's like 0.1 over, one of them's 0.1 under. So pretty neutral, but big move up so far. I was gonna say this would have been a nice long. Now might actually be a nice short. BTC, of course, not really moving because it never does. But yeah, just looking at how clean this like downtrend earlier was. That's very good. Where's ES? All right. And sessions. Cool. Okay. So look at, I mean, there's no levels above. Like, it's just price discovery now. We're above previous week high, we're above previous day high, we're well above daily open, we're well above previous week open, monthly open, weekly open, previous day low is all the way down here. It's a big old drop if we are going to get any drop. And news was here, right? So there's our, that's wickless. That's just an immediate, just squeeze higher. Immediate. So I'm going to place an alert down there because I think it is likely that we do come back down and hit that level during the New York session, maybe even beforehand. So we'll see if that gets hit. And I think any reaction there will tell us whether we're going to like see higher prices today or whether we're looking at more of a pullback. The thing is as well, right? We've already had a big dip today. Yeah. I mean, and yesterday, right? It took out the highs. We come and corrected it all. It could be continuation, more price discovery here. But either way, I think it's likely we do revisit this at the very least. So I'll take this off. Just nothing really to say. And back to Bitcoin. We'll get back to it. Bitcoin's not going to be moving on this, really. Right. Okay, cool. Nothing to say there. So yeah, realistically, when you look at the lower time frames, it really is like 115k. It's nice that we've taken out these lows, so we have this consolidation, like that final little impulse higher, corrected all of that, taken out these lows, right, consolidating around here. If we can get a little bit of a bounce and then some kind of corrective move and then move on towards new all-time highs once again, that'd be absolutely perfect. For any of those Elliott wave kind of peeps, since we broke all-time high, you got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Taking out the 4 here. So yeah, some kind of ABCD corrective move. Boom, boom. I mean, a move back up just to take these highs would be awesome. And then down around here. And some continuation, right? So it's really simple. See if we get a bounce now. Then see if there's an opportunity to short down to 115. And then after that, you want to be long again. Dominance still falling. ETH holding up very, very, very well. ETH BTC up towards, this is the crazy thing. ETH BTC is still within this range that we've been in since May. So I still think Ethereum is looking decent for higher prices. I still think altcoins, at least for the time being, the next few days, next week or so, is still looking good for higher prices. Even if Bitcoin continues just to range here, continues to pull back a little bit more. The only time where I think we see the market puke is, like I say, if price starts getting acceptance here and trades through it, that would be bad, right? That would be bad. Everything will dump if price spends time in here and continues to grind lower. But as long as it doesn't do that, as long as we just dip into there and get a bounce, then it's absolutely fine. Okay, cool. So now, yeah, we've got an hour until New York Open now. Let's set an alert to see if we take out these highs again. I'll probably stay live until New York Open. Maybe trade a little bit of that. Right now, it's kind of tough to trade this because, like I say, there's just a lack of like decent levels in which to trade off of. It's not. We've already filled everything that's below. It's, yeah, just price discovery. See how high it can go. Okay, anything else we want to take a look at in the meantime? So, bonk. Pico asking for bonk. Bonk. See, bonk's been doing like very well, right? I think this is almost like part of the pump fun, because we had the pump fun launch, and bonk being like the ultimate community organic meme coin, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. But it's performing very, very well. I don't really have much to say about it. Yeah, I don't know. It's just been in a range since it started to get onto exchanges. It had that like however many 1000% rise when it was still a DeFi meme coin. So if you don't know the history of bonk, it launched in like on Christmas Day 2023. It spent like 6 months basically being worthless, and then just had a massive run towards the end of last year, taking it to however many $billion valuation it's at now. And it's just been ranging. I mean, it's a big range. It's like you're essentially 10x from high to low. Highs of 0.06 per 1,000 bonk. Lows of, I mean, like 0.1, but as low as like 0.006. So you have this like 6x, 600% range, essentially. Yeah, to be trading with right now on here, but I don't have too much to say on it. You're already up 300% from the lows, already up 300% from where you were at the start of this month or like a month ago. It's certainly not a time to be like FOMOing into something like this, although it has been like one of the stronger performers. I wouldn't even say it's really like parabolic yet either. You do have a little bit of this kind of parabolic advance where you have just that steady sideways accumulation. You break higher, and we're trading nicely above that right now. It's going to be miles away from any VWAPs from the lows. It's going to be miles away from any like higher time frame moving averages. If you look at the MAs, like that's kind of riding along this trend line quite well. This is super simple, basic TA shit, but there's not too much to say about it. VWAP's going to be down here somewhere, yeah. Volume, I'll look at it from the breakout because the POC will be down here if I take it back any further. A lack of it. Divergence. But same can be said for a lot of stuff. It's not a very nice like daily candle. And if we look at where it is, and just like, I mean, it's midpoint-ish of this range, yeah. It's had some resistance around here. It tried to hold some support around here. I don't really have much to say. It's not a very interesting chart to me. Like it would have been interesting. Like the thing that was interesting about this was, I guess, when it took these lows. It didn't take those lows. I guess it probably did on some exchanges. Oh, not on Bybit either. It didn't take those lows. Weekly AB. Yeah. I'm just in a short trade in it right at the moment because of the quarter level at the SFPUC. Quarter. So is there a quarterly, or do you mean like quarter level? Ah, okay, right, yeah. So that is, I'll just label it as a monthly, but it is a that's yearly open. Fuck. Okay, that's yearly open. So it has just hit yearly open. Well done. There we go. You're doing my work for me. Thank you. Yep. So the thing with the short, please check XRP coin. XRP coin. ADA. Why every time I do a stream, everyone's asking for ADA and XRP? Why are people still interested in ADA and XRP? I will have a look at them. But yeah, it's good to know that there is some I don't know, garbage coins. Yeah. All right, as expected, we are getting a little bit of a down move. We'll see if NQ can come back down here and just recover all of this. Let me just do a little bit more on bonk. The thing is, where would you TP on this? Probably have to be around here, unless you're expecting right now, because it's in such a mad uptrend, I struggle to see the value. This is the thing, if you're scalping and getting the reaction, great, and if you're up, great. But when you have something that's looking like this, the problem is this could just find support here and go and take it out again. All you can really rely on when you reach a level like this, when it's in such a massive uptrend, is just a reaction. You've got a reaction. You've got a reaction of, like, it's almost 10% down. All right. So you've had that reaction. You're down 10%. It's profit. If it was me, I would probably be looking to get out of that pretty quickly. And then, okay, if the whole market does turn and you start to come down here and then you get a bit more of a bounce and you change market structure or do that kind of thing, then yeah, you can get back in and you can short it again. But as a reaction off of a yearly level, you've had a 10% move. So it's good. 0.022 your TP. Again, that, yeah, reasonable. If you take out some of these lows, once again, I think that would be you'd at the very least want to be taking some partials. So, yeah. Still want to have a look at other stuff. So, let's have a look. XRP, USDT. Is that high? This is the funny thing. I did this last week, and this was just before we broke out. And I was saying on the stream I was very, very bullish. But the only thing that you could really look for at that stage was like, right, this was already up a lot. It wasn't the place in which to be entering. You could have taken a slightly lower risk short position with a really invalidation that would have got stopped. I did actually take that trade, so I did get stopped on that trade. And then it's just like, okay, cool, you just wait until the next level. Again, we seem to be at this point where shorts could be low time frame nice, especially today because Bitcoin has dropped. BTC dominance has dropped. If this does continue lower, that might be when other stuff comes down a little bit more, especially the things that are still making new highs today. But it's the same thing, the shorts, you have to be really, really careful with them. You have to be very tight on any stop losses, and you have to be taking profit on them quickly because it's an uptrend. The market's in an uptrend, and that is the more likely direction for pretty much everything that's out there right now. So on XRP, if you're looking to short, if it comes down here, you've got the anchored VWAP from the low, you're coming back into value area high. That again would be, if you can be short from $3 to $2.60, cool, but I wouldn't expect anything more than that. And once again, is there even a chance to be long here? Because if you're looking at the 30-minute, we're still in a nice uptrend here. You had this bit of an impulse up, like higher. Little bit of a imbalanced single print there. Could you be long aiming for these highs and validation down at these lows? Looking at a trade like this, which just gets continuation, right? When you're in an uptrend, that kind of thing often works out a little bit better. But yeah, it is like you have two almost identical trades. You could be long. You could be long from here with invalidation at the lows, or you could have just taken a short here and be looking for here. That would actually have been a really nice. That would have been a really nice looking trade. This short. Because this could become a quite decent little range. But if you're looking high time frame on XRP, as much as I hate it, I think it's inevitably going to be breaking all-time highs soon. And but it just doesn't interest me. Same with ADA, right? It doesn't interest me. It's at this macro POC. Was this one I spoke about last week where I had taken a long, or did I not actually take that? Yeah, I am. So I do have a long on ADA from when we were just about to break out of this. We're at the point of control. Let's look high time frame levels. It's nothing until all the way back here. Alright, you can yearly open here. That's already a really nice SR level, that yearly open. Just look at the bounce, bounce, rejection, rejection, rejection. So here's point of control on golden pocket. Once again, if you're looking for a short, you might just get this, and then it's continuation or higher again. The thing for me, I want to see stuff that's not